In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a wash on your canvas, or a transparent wash on the canvas. Whenever you do a wash, you'll want to use a neutral color. So those are browns, tans, yellow ochre. Anything that's in the brown or the gray family is a neutral color. Okay? And the reason we want to do this is so that as we're painting, we don't have these areas of white canvas left over, that we've already covered the canvas, and it's going to save us time as well because we already have a layer of paint onto the canvas. So as we put on new layers, we don't have to use our more expensive colors to paint over and over again. We already have those layers built in. And when I do this, I want to use the paint quite liquid, so you can either just add some drops of water in there, or you can also use the spray bottle. Notice that I'm just using one of these wax sheets, so we can use these as palettes. And I put a magazine underneath as support, and I'm just going to spray right into there. You'll see that the water beads up because I'm using the waxy side. It feels like wax paper. And then I can use a palette knife just to sort of mix the paint into the water a bit and liquefy it. Be careful about it, drip it. That's why I like to do this over on top of a magazine, so that it gives it some support and it doesn't spill out over the edges. But you can see it's getting quite liquefied now. And there's a few different ways you can do this. One, you could take a damp cloth. I have a damp cloth or a damp paper towel. Usually before you get started, you want to have a damp cloth, one wet, one dry, just for different techniques. And you can I'm going to take this damp cloth, that's one way to do it, or even a damp sponge. And you can just dip this directly in there. And you can sort of scrub it on or wash it on like this. Now, if you have a lot of pencil marks already on here, it's good to do this before you even start drawing. If you already have a lot of pencil marks, you don't want to scrub too hard or you'll scrub the pencil off. Now, another way to do this is you could do the brush. You could use a big brush. And you can see that's going to be a bit darker as you apply that on. You can even use the spray bottle, spray into that. Use the side of the brush to get more of a blended effect if you want it to blend. You can see as it goes back into the dry area of the canvas, then it gets darker. This is especially helpful, especially if we're doing a landscape, to go from that dark to light, or light to dark. Again, I like to use the cloth just to go in here, create some effects. Okay. Since I'm using a canvas, I'm going to do the sides as well. This is a stretched canvas. And you can do this technique on canvas board, on the canvas panel, or on stretched canvas. It needs to be strong enough, or even on panel, it needs to be strong enough to be able to handle the amount of water that's going on it. That's why I would not recommend this for just on a regular piece of paper, because the paper will buckle from the amount of water. So that's a nice even coat. I might go back in and make some areas darker. Now you'll see, because the paint is quite thin, first it's going to have brush strokes, but those brush strokes will eventually disappear as it dries. This is just giving a nice faded look if you want that sort of gradual transition from light to dark. Okay. So that is creating a transparent wash over your canvas. A wash, some people call this an underpainting. I usually refer to this as a wash because you're covering the entire space. And then in the next video, you'll see how to do a grisaille painting, a grisaille, which means a grayscale underpainting once you have your shapes drawn in for your painting. Okay, good luck.